Hello, everyone. Happy Easter. My name is Daniel de Tablan, and welcome to this very special video series on our Easter reflections. For the next 4 days, we're going to bring you our thoughts and some special music for this special season. And this is brought to you by a group of friends, not only from the Philippines, but also from around the world. We live in a very peculiar time. I don't think we've ever experienced anything like this where, distancing seems to be the important thing right now. And of course, when we think about distance, we think about separation. I know a lot about separation right now because about 3 months ago, I moved here to join my parents and my brother and his family to live here in the US. And so I left my family behind, my wife and my 3 kids. And so for the past 3 months, we've been living separately from each other there in the Philippines, and I'm here in the US. But of course, the COVID-19 pandemic happened, and we now feel even more separated from each other. Even my parents, who used to live here with us, we've had to send them to another house in a different state. So for them to be really protected from the virus. And so, so instead of my move here bringing us closer together, well, at least physically for now, we do suffer from, being not able to be together. And of course, you hear a lot about social distancing and physical distancing and all that. But let me just share with you my thoughts on that. I believe what they're actually asking us to do is the physical distancing. So we are now encouraged to just stay home. Don't go out as much as you can, and very limited time of interaction with physical contact with people. And it's recommended for us to be able to keep ourselves 6 feet away from each other. And if that is not possible, you are supposed to distance yourself by, putting on protective clothing. And for our frontliners, we do applaud you for doing that. And they are the ones that are wearing the full body, physical protection gear. And for us who are just up and about, it is recommended that we do wear the masks and maybe the gloves, and of course to not touch our face, and to always wash our hands. And so the physical distance is very, very important. But of course, they first called it social distancing, which is, maybe it's a misnomer, because even without being physically present, we can still be socially involved with one another. And this is where, this type of media comes in, wherein we can be in our own homes and yet still be able to relate to everyone in the world. And we thank the Lord for the internet and for all these different platforms that we can use to just share our thoughts and still be involved in people's lives. And so social distancing is not so much of an issue, because we can still stay connected with one another while being physically away from each other. So with my family, we talk almost every day on the internet, and so we thank God that we can stay connected that way. But of course, being Easter, I believe we need to talk about the third kind of distancing, and that is when you feel far away from God, or if you feel you don't want to be involved with God. And this is what I would call spiritual distancing. And it is one of the most difficult period you can have in your life, because when you don't feel God's presence, it is very hopeless. You know, when we feel that we're all alone and we feel that we're being left by ourselves and we don't have any spiritual resource to draw from, that can be very, very taxing, and that can be very, sad. And so during times like these, where we're physically away from each other, or socially we may not be involved, we need to be reminded of God's presence in our lives. And so we just want to share with you a song that I wrote for my dear friend who's going to be singing it shortly. And it is based on when Jesus says, for those of you who are burdened and heavily laden, come to me and I will give you rest. And during times like these, I hope that we can be reminded that whether we feel it or not, whether we realize it or not, God is with us. I hope you enjoyed that song. That's entitled God is With You, and it's sung by Charina Sayno-Mores. For the next few days, we will continue to hear thoughts about Easter and how it relates to us in this very peculiar time. And so I hope that you continue to join us again tomorrow. And again, although we are far apart, but the love of Christ and the presence of Christ is what joins us together. Happy Easter.